guys, it's me, and today I am here with a super exciting video for you guys, and today we are going to be trying out the brand new palette from Sugarpill, and that is the Fun Size 2 palette today. I got this in the mail yesterday. This video is going to be going up for another maybe 2 weeks from now. I'm super excited to give this guy a go. Also, if I seem to be a little sweaty, I just got back from running an errand and it's very humid today. And so I'm a little bit sweaty and everything. I'm definitely very moist right now, but overall my skin is actually looking really good today, so I'm not going to wear any foundation or face products today. So I'm just going to be playing with the eyes today. Also, hopefully the lighting is going to be okay throughout this video. It's been overcast all day today, so hopefully that'll be fine. But before we get into that moment where we talk about this palette, if you guys are new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and also while you're down there, definitely give this video a thumbs up because that'll help me out a lot. All my links are down in the description box below, and yeah, let's do this. So I ordered this the day that the palette launched, which was September 1st. It launched at 12 p.m. Eastern time, so 9 a.m. Pacific time, and it came in a box like this and was wrapped up in tissue paper, and then there's also a lot of tissue paper deep down in there as well, so it was nice and padded. This isn't my first time ordering from Sugarpill, so going into this I knew that I wasn't going to have any issues with like things not being packaged very well. And then here we have the unit carton for the palette here, and on the back it has the shades with the shade names and whatnot on there. And then here is the actual palette itself. This is the front side, and here we have the back side, and these are the colors that are on the inside. I have to make sure to keep it tilted so that way the glare from the hollow rims around the pans don't like set off the white bounce and discolor everything. But I love the colors in here. If you guys watched my installment of Am I Gonna Buy This for August, then you know that I talked about how I ordered this guy and I was super excited about it, and that I love the color story in here. It's a really good extension of the first palette. Before we get into having those side by side, I do also want to mention that I got the sticker sheet. This was part of the reason why I wanted to go ahead and get this palette, was so that way I could get the sticker sheet, because I got the sticker sheet for the original Fun Size palette, so I wanted to make sure that I could also get the sticker sheet for this one as well, so I could have both of them, and I do, and the stickers are super cute. And yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to use these stickers, because I mean I still haven't even used the stickers from the original palette, but I like having stickers. The palette itself retails for $30, and with shipping it wound up being $35 and some change, so it's a little bit up there considering that like it's just like a small little 9-pan palette. But you have to remember that Sugarpill is an indie brand, so indie brands tend to up the prices on some of their products sometimes, just simply because like good ingredients, they're like not just pulling things off of a rack and whatnot. So yeah, like everything is like custom and whatnot. And yeah, so let's do a little side-by-side comparison between Fun Size 2 and Fun Size. Alright, so these are the two palettes side by side, and as you can see, the Fun Size 2 is very much just a extension of Fun Size 1 in terms of the colors that are available. So this one is Fun Size 1, this is Fun Size 2, and the colors are similar. It's another rainbow palette, but the colors go really, really good together. So if you like pastels and like neon type of shades, these two palettes go really well together because of the fact that they have like some like pastels and some like borderline neons, and some have more depth than others. Like I feel like if you wanted more depth out of this palette, you're gonna definitely get it out of this palette here. And they look, just by looking at them together side by side, these, like I said, it's like an extension, and so these palettes go really well together. So if you wanted to, you could travel with both of them and be able to create really in-depth looks with them and very monochromatic looks with them as well. Yeah. I like to go in blind with palettes these days. I rarely ever swatch things these days before I actually play with the palette for the first time. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dive on into this. I'm gonna try to use as many of the colors in this palette as possible. So I don't know how intense this eye look is going to wind up being, considering that there are only but maybe like three deeper shades here, which are these three here on the end. I don't think the look will be like super dark and dramatic. It's definitely going to be a lot more on the pastel end of things, which is totally fine. Go ahead and zoom you guys in a bit because we're going to be focusing on the eyes today. Bump up the exposure ever so slightly. Okay, I need a primer. Let me grab a eyeshadow primer. And I also am going to need a mascara. Let me do that as well. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to fill in my brows. I'm just going to use a NYX Micro Brow Pencil and taupe real quick. And comb through these guys. Oh, my phone isn't on mute. Oh. Let me mute you real quick. Alright, so I'm just going to lightly fill in my brows today. I'm not going to do anything significant with them because, I mean, I don't have any face makeup on. And I don't like having really intense brows on days like today where I'm not going to be wearing face makeup. So I just lightly fill them in just to add some little bits of structure to the brow. Just to make them look a little bit nicer. Like so. See, there's not that big of a difference between the two. But then too, this brow pencil I've noticed doesn't do that much for me. I don't really care for this brow pencil. Now I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm going to use the Anastasia eyelid primer. Sorry if you guys can hear like the ceiling fan running in the background now. Like it is so humid today and I'm just like not cooling down at all. And I'm just feeling myself sweat. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes using this primer. I used this primer for the first time, I think it was last week? Yeah, when I did the makeup for the Am I Gonna Buy This? I used this primer for the first time in a long time for that look. And the reason for it is because this primer, as you could probably tell, is very pale in color. I'm just blending this out using a Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush, by the way, for those of you who are curious. And then I'm going to use a different primer on the bottom lid, which I know might seem a little bit extra. But that's just simply because this primer is so pale in color. I don't want to have like this super pale color on like the bottom. It'll definitely brighten things up way too much. Okay, so I think I know what I'm gonna do. So what I'm thinking about doing is that I'm gonna do like the more pastel colors on the top lid and then do the more deeper colors on the bottom. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Okay, so I'm gonna start out by taking Power Up here. Take it on this like very like tapered small blending brush here. And I'm gonna start out by taking this into the inner portion of the crease. And I'm just gonna start building this guy up. Now this is a very like pale, bright yellow type of shade. And I might also wind up bringing this down into like the bottom portion as well, into like the inner corner there, and do that as well. And I am gonna take this like ever so slightly onto the lid as well. I'm not gonna take it too far onto the lid, because I do want to mostly focus this mainly into the crease area, like so. There is a little bit of kickback in here, but I don't know how well you guys can see it. Kickback isn't a big thing for me, but I know some people it bothers them for whatever reason, but yeah. Next up, we're gonna take the shade Grind here. This isn't really the type of brush I want to be using for this, but it's the only flat brush I have that's clean right now, that is like of a size that I can work with right now. So we're just going to settle for this brush right here, but we're going to just take it with this brush here and we're just going to follow that Power Up shade. I'm going to take this onto the lid and upwards into the crease. Try to build it up a little bit. looks like a dirty neon green type of shade. If that color description makes any sense. And I'm just gonna take that same brush that we applied Power Up with, and I'm just gonna blend those edges. Alright, so next up we're gonna take Elixir. I'll take this one on a larger shading brush. This one is a Mint Melt, I think eyeshadow brush? Yeah, Mint Melt eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. This shade, I'm okay with using a larger brush. Oh, okay. The shade packs a bit of a punch. Wasn't expecting that. Not out of a pastel blue. Yeah, this is like the type of color that I felt as if like Fun Size 1 was missing. Was like a good blue shade. Like, I know there's like a periwinkle shade in Fun Size 1, but that shade pulls a bit more purple than it does blue. And as you can see, this is blue. I'm gonna take a clean blending brush and I'm just gonna go over the crease area very lightly. And also this blue and green situation. Just to try to make that blend a bit more seamless. Alright, so now I'm gonna take Double Jump here, and I'm just gonna pop this next to the Elixir shade. I know if you're going in like chronological order of like colors on the color wheel, this is not the move to make. Well, I need, for some reason, this color did not deposit very well over on this lid. Let me pack some more over here real quick. Now I'm just taking Double Jump and just popping this out here. I'm gonna take it towards the outer corner without hitting like the absolute outside portion of the outer corner. This is turning out to be a really cute look. I hope the bottom lid doesn't ruin it. Oh, make sure to blend. Just very lightly dusting this blending brush over these colors. Okay, so now I'm gonna take Loading here, which is this peach shade, and we're just gonna pop this in the outer V. Well, the outer portion, I should say, not really the outer V. I hope I got enough picked up on this brush. I can't really tell because the orange brush. Alrighty. Ooh, that's a pretty color. That's a pretty color. A lot more vibrant than I thought it was going to be too. Okay. And again, just lightly sweeping this brush over these colors here. Now I'm going to take the Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is the original formula. And I'm just going to pop this onto the bottom lid. Like so. Probably used too much there, but no biggie. I'm using that same brush from earlier. I'm just going to blend it out. So what we're going to do now is that we are going to do, what are we going to do? So the first shade that we're going to take on the bottom lid, we're going to take Player 2, and we're just going to pop this right here, the outer portion of the lid. To kind of connect it up with that peach shade. I'm going to take Critical Hit here, which is this more berry shade. And we're just gonna follow that shade there. Ooh, this is a really pretty color. Now I'm gonna dip into Final Boss. Ooh, this is a really nice color too. It's almost like a deeper, richer version of that periwinkle shade from the Fun Size 1 palette. It's a really beautiful color. The last shade that we're gonna pick up that we haven't played with yet is this one here, this green shade, which is called Button Mash. And we're just gonna take this right up to the tear duct. Also, don't forget to blend it in with the previous shade either. This is a pretty green. I wish that it wasn't nearly as teal in tone, because it definitely has a bit of blue to it, but it's still a really pretty green. The last thing that I'm going to do is going to go back into Power Up here, that yellow, and we're just going to take this into the actual tear duct. That's gonna be our little inner corner highlight moment. This is so pretty. Like these deeper colors though. These deeper colors, like these three in particular, stunning. I want to do a look just using these three colors on their own. Ooh. This is a really beautiful color story. I really love this a lot. Alright, so now I'm just going to quickly throw on some mascara. This is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. Should I curl my lashes? Nah, I won't worry about curling my lashes today. But just to top this off though, because I do feel as if I'm missing a little bit of something, I'm going to throw on this lip oil. This is the Cobb Lip Oil, and it's in the shade Rum Punch. I got this, I think, in my first BoxyCharm that I ever got. I also just really need something on my lips because I forgot to put on lip balm this morning before I went out. So my lips are like crusty. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys out and we'll talk more about the palette. So my thoughts and opinions on this palette so far, I'm in love with it. I really do love it. I mean, I knew I was gonna love it. I really love the formula of Fun Size 1, and so I knew that I would love the formula of Fun Size 2 because it's the same type of formula. I know that Sugarpill plays around with this formula a bit more now with their capsule palettes, because the formula that's in these Fun Size palettes I believe is also the same formula that is used in their capsule palettes, which I really want to try those out at some point. I don't know when that'll wind up being, but I definitely want to try them out. I don't know which ones I want the most though. I know I really want 1 and 3, but I also wouldn't mind having 2, and same thing goes for 4. So it's just like I could get all 4 of them, but that's gonna be a lot of money. But I knew that I would wind up liking the formula on this because of the fact that I am familiar with what is up in this palette here, and I really enjoy how this palette performed. I really love the colors. I was really surprised by Elixir here because right from the get-go, like when you pack it on, it packs a punch. I will say this, but this is common with blues in general. It did seem to be a little bit finicky once you started blending. It kind of like started to like fade away. This is a type of color that you might have to like play with a little bit and finesse it and whatnot. When it comes to these deeper shades, like these 3 shades, I'm definitely gonna have to play with them some more because I know when it comes to like shades like Final Boss in particular, those can also be quite finicky and difficult to work with. So I'll have to report back to you guys on how that shade in particular performs. Today it worked really nicely, but then again I only used but a very small amount of it, so it could definitely get a little bit finicky later down the future. And I just realized that I did not blend this bottom lid action, so it's like really harsh right now. Let me go over that real quick. In terms of like shades that I feel as if you could easily do without in terms of this palette, I do feel like the shade here is quite similar to the shade here. It's just a bit richer and more vibrant, which in a way I'm like, is it really necessary? But then again, for me being like a very fair, like light skin tone, like having these 2 shades isn't really going to benefit me that much. But if you are a deeper skin tone though, having this shade is going to be really good because it'll give you a similar effect that this peachy shade does, because they have very similar undertones, as you can see, but the shade themselves is just like a difference in just like pigmentation, like how rich the color is. And then the yellow, I'm really happy with the yellow. The yellow turned out to be a lot more vibrant than I thought that it was going to be, because looking at the swatches online, it looked like it was going to be a much paler yellow, which I mean, it definitely is a pale yellow in comparison to like other yellows that are on the market, like saying like Butter Cupcake from Sugarpill. That one is a lot more rich and intense, but this is a really good like contender for like a nice yellow shade. And then like this grind shade here, it's a nice green shade. Like these like murky neon-ish greens are really nice to have. They're not necessarily my particular favorite kind of color, and I do have maybe 2 other greens like this throughout my collection, so it's definitely a color that is a repeat in my collection, but is no big deal. Button Mash, this was a shade that I was extremely excited for, but I was also a little bit worried because I was worried that it might be a little too like blue toned, because for me, I have a lot of like tealy greens in my collection already. But I can say though, it is a very gorgeous color. It is such a gorgeous color. I do wish that it was just ever so slightly more green though. Like it has just a little too much blue for me to really stand out amongst like all the other tealy greens that I have in my collection. But still, it's a wonderful color. Loading is a nice shade. It's like a good like punchy like pastel peach type of shade. It actually packed on a lot more pigmentation than I was expecting it to. And then let's see, I already talked about Elixir and Final Boss and Player 2. Double Jump. This shade is really cute. It's a really cute shade, but I will say this though, it is very light. I don't know how well you guys can tell. It does get a bit lost in this look, but overall though, I still think that it's a really beautiful shade. And then Critical Hit. Oh my god, this is a gorgeous shade. This is another shade I'm gonna have to report back on though, because again, these types of shades can also be quite finicky depending on like how it's layered up and how it blends and whatnot. So like these 2 shades in particular, I'll have to get back to you guys on, but I don't know when that might wind up happening. Who knows, I might wind up playing with this palette again sometime after today before this video goes up, because like I mentioned earlier, this video isn't going to be going up for about another 2 weeks. But overall, I am extremely happy with this palette. It's a really cute palette, really wonderful colors, and pastels are really in at the moment, which they're about to go out of trend though now that we're going into fall. I think technically we're already in fall, but hey, better late than never. It's always good to stock up and prepare for like trends the following year. And then too, wear whatever the hell you want to and everything. You don't have to follow trends. Because I mean, like in the southern hemisphere, they're going into spring right now. So I mean, it's appropriate somewhere. I really do love the colors in here. And between this one and Fun Size 1, ooh, I really don't know which one I like more. I think I like both of them equally because they bring a very different vibe. Because like I mentioned, this one has like pastels to borderline neons, and this one is definitely more pastel, but it has some like good like rich shades in it as well. So this one has pastels in depth, and this one has like pastels and borderline neons. I would highly recommend this palette. I really enjoy it. I love it. It's a really cute, colorful little palette and everything. And I mean, I love Sugarpill. I love the turkey sprite on the packaging here. It's so cute. But this is the Fun Size 2 palette. What did you guys think of this look that I've created today? Do any of you guys have this palette? What are your thoughts and opinions on it? I know some people said that this palette isn't really necessary considering this palette exists, but I do feel as if like both of these palettes are different enough to have one or the other, or even both, like me, because I mean, I love the idea of having both of these because they work so well together just by looking at the color stories and everything. Both of these palettes can go together perfectly, and it makes me curious as to whether or not they're gonna do like maybe like a Fun Size 3 in the future and it be a bit more neon in tone, because this one is very pastel heavy, and Fun Size 1 I feel is like a good blend of both pastels and neons. So I wonder if the next one is going to probably be a bit more neon in tone. That would be really fun, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this look. It's so cute, so fun. I love it so much. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until I see you guys in my next one, whenever the hell that may be, goodbye.